Hello everyone and welcome back to Freedom Through Confidence. My name is Ben, and in this video today I want to talk to you about how to feel like you're good enough. Now, if you're struggling with your confidence and your self-esteem, then this is probably a thought that would pop into your mind pretty regularly. This idea that I'm just not good enough, or I'm not worthy enough. I'm not good enough for her or for him. I am not good enough for this job. I'm not good enough as a father. I'm not good enough as an uncle. Or so many reasons why you might think that you are not good enough in a certain area. And low self-esteem is built on this belief that you are not good enough. And in this video, I want to talk to you about how you can overcome that. This is something that I myself dealt with for such a long time, and it literally held me back in every single area of my life because I never felt like I was good enough. When I was in university, this was when it was at its peak, and I didn't feel like I was good enough as a son, as a brother, as a boyfriend, as a friend. I didn't feel that I was good enough as a student. I didn't feel that I was good enough as an employee. There is literally no area of my life back then that I didn't feel that I wasn't good enough. And self-esteem is at the core of your confidence, because confidence is all about self-acceptance and authentic expression of that acceptance. And if you believe that you're not good enough, then guess what? You're not going to find the way to accept yourself. And if you can't accept yourself, then you cannot express yourself in an authentic way. So it all links together, which is why it's so important for you to know how to feel like you are good enough as you are right now. But the good news is that this idea that you are not good enough is simply a belief that you hold in your mind, and beliefs are pretty simple to change. Now, this isn't to say that changing a belief is easy, because it's not. I'm just saying that the process is pretty simple, but it is something that you will have to work on for a long time. I'm not going to sit here and promise you that if you do this, you'll be able to overcome this idea that you are not good enough in like 24 hours or in a week or in a month. In fact, what I would encourage you to do is go and speak to a helping professional about this, a counselor, a therapist, someone like that who can help you, not a life coach, someone that's actually qualified to help you with these internal beliefs. Because whilst I did do a lot of self-improvement in order to overcome that belief in myself, I also went to therapy for almost 2 years, and that also really helped and supported me through this. So that would be my first recommendation. But let's get into the more immediate things that you can take away and start doing right now. So the very first thing that I want you to do, if you're feeling like you are not good enough, and this is something to do every single time this comes up, is to break the pattern. We have a tendency to get lost inside of loops of thoughts in our mind that we are not in control of. There are these automatic thoughts that appear in our mind that tell us that we're not good enough, and then we just follow them and let ourselves be kind of washed away in these thoughts, feeling like we have no control over the outcome at all. And I've often described our internal thought process as a very, very shallow stream that we are kind of struggling to keep our head above, and feeling like we are always kind of inches away from drowning, when in reality we could just stand up and walk away from it. Our thoughts aren't us, they can't control us. Only our identification with those thoughts can bring us pain in our lives, but that is a more philosophical concept for another video. You have to break the pattern of those thought loops when they occur in your life. When you recognize that you are stuck in this loop of thoughts of I'm not good enough, I'll never be good enough, I'm a worthless human being. When you get stuck in those loops of thoughts, you have got to break that pattern, and there are any number of ways that you can do that. One of the best ways that I've found to do that is to go and do something positive for yourself. In fact, even better, go and do 5 positive things for yourself. Doesn't matter what it is. It could be going and just taking a short walk and just spending some time focusing on you. It could be going and eating some food that you'll enjoy. It could be going and hitting the gym if that's something you enjoy. It could be going and seeing a movie in the cinema. Whatever it is, just go and do something nice for yourself, because immediately what that is starting to tell your mind is that you value yourself and you value feeling good. And on top of that, it can be a distraction away from that immediate thought loop, and that gives you a chance to take control. Another thing that you could do is something like write down 5 positive statements about yourself. Write down 5 of your strengths, 5 achievements that you're proud of, 5 compliments that other people have given you in your life. Like whatever it is, just write down 5 very positive things about yourself. Stuff that you can fairly easily identify. And it might actually take a little bit of thought to try and bring these things to mind, especially when you are stuck in this negative thought loop, but I would encourage you to try it anyway. Now that you know how to break the pattern of those negative thought loops, here's what I want you to do. The first thing is, of course, to speak to yourself with a higher level of self-compassion and empathy. And I know this is something that we as guys find a little bit uncomfortable, the positive self-talk, but think about it as talking to yourself as if you are your own best friend. If your best friend came to you struggling, you're not going to keep putting them down and, curb stomping them. No, you're going to be empathetic. You're going to be warm towards them. You're going to tell them the things that they need to hear in order to bring their chin back up and start moving forward in their life again. So I want you to say the same things to yourself. Genuinely have a conversation with yourself in the most empathetic way possible. Ben, how you doing, man? I know that you're struggling right now, and I want you to know that I'm proud of you and everything is going to work out in the end. Yes, things are rough right now and you feel terrible, and that's okay. That's okay. Because you will be able to pick yourself up from this. You will be able to move forward. You will be able to create something great with your life. I love you and I'm here for you. And for sure, that can feel uncomfortable to do at first, but if you don't start talking to yourself in a more compassionate and empathetic way, guess what? Those negative thought loops will come back again and again and again. What I'm asking you to do is replace that track with something new, something better. And then the final thing that I want you to do is start to work on the new belief. So your old belief is that you're not good enough. A new belief is I am good enough. And the way to create a belief is to have the statement that you want to believe in and then go and find evidence for it. I'm asking you to create a belief, not to have faith in yourself. Faith in yourself would be, not having evidence that you are good enough, just kind of, whereas having belief in yourself means that you have evidence to back yourself up. So over the course of the next week, what I want you to do is write down any time you did something positive during the day, and I want you to write down a minimum of 10 things every single day for the next week, or for however long it takes, minimum 1 week, but perhaps even for the rest of your life. Just 10 positive things that you did, 10 things that you achieved, 10 things that improved your life or someone else's life in some kind of way that you did over the course of that one day. And what this is doing is it is reinforcing in your mind, firstly, that you can create positive outcomes in your life, that if you can do something good, then you're not inherently worthless. Because you can do something good for yourself, or because you can do something good for others, means that you have a level of inherent worth. You have at least some utility and worth in the world, and you can build on that. And that's why I encourage you to do this for as long as possible, until eventually it becomes second nature to you. So what we're doing is we're using something called confirmation bias, which is essentially the way in which we look for evidence that supports our worldviews. So when your worldview is I'm worthless, I'm useless, I'm not good enough, guess what kinds of evidence you are looking for on an unconscious level all day long? You're looking for evidence that, yep, you are worthless, because we always look for evidence to back up the beliefs we already have. But by installing these new beliefs, by going out and purposefully looking for evidence that we are good enough, that we are worthy, then what happens is eventually our unconscious mind is going to catch on that, yes, this is the belief that we want to have. And now we are going to be working towards confirming that with every bit of evidence possible. And that's how strong beliefs are created. That's how every type of belief is inevitably cemented, is through confirmation bias. You go and speak to somebody who believes in anything, whether it is religion or the flat earth theory, they will look for tiny bits of evidence to support themselves. And I want you to have that kind of radical cult-like belief in you. Utilize your unconscious mind. Make this conscious search for evidence unconscious over time. And that is how you can overcome that belief that you are not good enough. So I hope you have found this video useful. If you have done, make sure to leave your thoughts and questions in the comment section down below. I do hope that you have found this useful in some way. If you have done, of course, make sure to subscribe to the channel as well if this is the kind of content that you're interested in. I've got 5 videos coming out every single week, Monday to Friday. So if this is what you're interested in, make sure to subscribe, leave a like on the video. But otherwise, that's all I've got for today. Once again, I hope you found this useful, and I look forward to seeing you in future videos here on this channel very soon.